So what I'm doing is I'm just rocking it back and forth, up and down, and it's barely even moving. But it is moving. So, at least I think it's moving. Still not enough yet. It's taking pretty much everything I've got to try and get this thing on here, though. Alright, I'm just going that far. Let's see how much the hose clamp covers. That's just going to have to be good enough, because this is craziness. It's like this side could have been quite a bit smaller and still been fine. Or, you know, again, don't even need the hose clamp. But I'm just trying to be safe here. Don't have a flood in my basement. Okay, so even without the hose clamp, pretty sure that's not going anywhere. But let's get this on, and then we'll measure again, like I said, for the control valve side. Tighten the nut gasket on the inside of the brine barrel. Tighten the nut as much as you can, and then you're going to twist on the hose end and get it nice and tight. That just gives you the leverage. And in a tight space like this, I find myself burying my tools under something else. So every time I need a tool or I need something, I have to move something else, and it's just kind of frustrating. So these are PVC cutters, actually, like for my sprinkler system. Give myself about 2 inches, maybe 3 inches of line extra, just for a little flux. Again, the rest of this, what's behind the camera now, the rest of this is used for the overflow or the drain or something like that in just a minute. So, this side, I'm going to try and get loosened up a little bit first with this guy. Like so. Try and make it a little easier to receive this in just a minute. Put the hose clamp on first. And then I'm actually going to untwist this. See if we can't do all these things at one time, shall we? Get this piece threaded on the back side here. That goes on nice and easy. And the hose loose. Drop the C-clamp because that hurts your hands. Put this thing on there as tight as you can. Tighten that by hand. I haven't seen a piece where it says use a wrench to tighten something yet, so I'm hoping that just tightening everything by hand is going to be fine. Well, let me show you before I do that. Let me show you how much of the hose I actually got on here. So that's how much of the hose I got on there, right? And then this kind of steps up to a little bit thicker, so I'm just going to get the hose clamp onto there, and then call that good. So let me tighten that and then I'll come back. Alright, we are back. I got this hose clamp tightened so that once this resin tank is turned to the back here, like it was before, that's just a nice easy curve. Should be very little way for that to get kinked or anything unless something pushes back on it, but there's plenty of space, there's plenty of slack on it, right? I could have even taken off a couple more inches. So let's do that same thing with this white line now. Get it coming out and easily gradually going into here, because that's already really annoying and I'm just assembling this thing. Okay, so this is a little discouraging, but apparently this hose is actually a drain line, not a connection from the resin tank to the brine tank. So I need to remove this, put the rest of the clear hose here, and have these two go down and figure out how to get them over there to that drain there where the, oh wow, where the HVAC drains as well. So there's going to be something probably going along the ground. I'm probably going to do another PVC pipe like this, and then do a stand-up pipe here out of some, you know, sprinkler pipe kind of stuff, and then have this hose and this hose both connect into that, and then drain away from the system over to that hole in the floor. So let's undo what we did and do something different. Alright, so I actually changed my mind on this white hose. After I pulled it out, I realized I could just feed it back here, get it out of the way. If I ever wanted to, I could move the brine tank. It just gives me a little more flexibility. I'm just going to leave it that way. Now, one thing I'm not going to cover in this video is I'm going to strap this guy, this tier 1, to the wall, right? I mean, your water heater has it for obvious reasons, so maybe this should too, because it's probably over 100 pounds. It's something crazy. I can barely pick it up by myself, so gotta strap that down. Anyway, get the drain line out of here, get the cap back on this thing, and then it's gonna be time to hook up the water lines. Alright, so looking at it from the front here, the control side is here, input is here, output is here. So for me, the main line coming in is this one, comes down. It's going to go straight down to the input, and then the output is going to go up kind of at an angle, or however I have to figure out how to do this piece, whatever this is, right, to come down here and connect up to this valve. So what I've got is this piece right here. I took this to Home Depot with me and got these. So these will thread on there. I will do a PEX connection here. I will do an elbow here. I'll probably angle it actually, the elbow. And then I'll come up to here, and then I've got a coupler. Sorry. Out, elbow, coupler. So I need 3 pieces per line. 1, 2, and then this is the third. Okay, so here's the next part. I'm going to do this part away from the actual control valve and everything because it's going to be hard to get back there. So I'll get this part in the elbow, probably on dry fitted here. But here's what I'm looking at. So I'm going to take the coupler, like this. It says to put this back about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going basically right in the middle of these 2 threads here, right? Get the best coverage I can. And then I'll crimp it. And there you have it. Crimped fitting. It's exciting. Let's do the other one. This does take 2 hands, I would show you, but it definitely takes 2 hands. Even just to get it set on there properly and get everything square and all that. It's definitely 2 hands.